guys, I'm out here in my garage because I just realized that I have a fantasy football draft next week, and essentially I have no idea who I'm going to draft. So today we're going to do a one-day build. We're going to get the data, we're going to organize the data, we're going to display the data in order for me to come up with the best draft list that I can use on draft day next week. Essentially, in terms of app requirements, what we're going to do is we're going to get basically draft rankings for all the players from a couple different websites, Yahoo, CBS Sports, I don't know, there might be one or two other ones that we do. Then we're going to normalize them all so that they're all in the same format. We're probably going to use CSV, so comma separated. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come up with our own metrics. So essentially we're going to average all of them across the board in order to come up with a better ranking for all of them. That kind of, it's like sort of like a wisdom of the crowds thing. So the theory is basically that if you have multiple experts all guessing the weight of a bull, they'll all be wrong, but the errors that they'll have will cancel out so that the average of all the people guessing will be mostly correct. This happened at a World's Fair back in the early 1900s where they had a bull on display and they asked all of the different farmers, like, how much do you think this bull weighs? And then they put in a guess. And no one got it right, but they averaged it all out and the answer was like within half a pound or something crazy like that. So we're going to do that with the experts from the fantasy football rankings. So we'll take them all, we'll average them, and then we'll see where we'll come up with our own listing. Once we've got the data, we're going to display the data. So we're going to do probably a React project. Well, what it will be, thinking out loud here, is probably a simple table, but in order. And then I want to be able to remove the ones that have already been drafted by other teams so that it's constantly like, okay, here's who you're picking next, and then this person, and then that person. So it will be a manual removing, probably like a red X button or something. You'll click it, and then it will show up or disappear. Maybe it'll go off to the side or be grayed out or something, or I'm not 100% sure. We'll play with it when it's live. Next week when I'm actually drafting, I'll use it live, and then I don't know if I'll do a follow-up video or post it as part of this video, depending on how long it takes me to edit it. But I'll share the team that I drafted with it. Then we'll see if you think it's good, you think it's bad. We'll go from there. So, yeah, let's get started. All right, so move down to the office because I'm actually going to be doing a lot of programming today. Obviously, it's a software build. Also, I forgot to mention, it's currently 8:45 in the morning, but I started this at about 8:30 or so. Is when I recorded the first part of that video. Had the idea out in the garage. I have a family brunch at 10:30, so I'll probably be gone. I'll miss most of the afternoon, morning or early afternoon. So hopefully we'll be done today. It is one day. Obviously, I'm not going to bring you guys along to the brunch. All right, got it all set up. So first things first is we're going to get that data from all the different sites. So let's go here. Let's find some fantasy rankings. We've got a whole bunch of rankings now. FantasyFootballCalculator.com, Yahoo Fantasy, FantasyPros.com, and we've got them from SportsIllustrated.com. What we're going to be doing is converting them into JSON. Well, first what we're going to do is we convert them into the same. We're going to average them, parse out all the relevant information, and then go from there. Next step is to set up the Git repo so we can actually do some coding and save everything to the correct place. The Git repo we set up is Fantasy Rankings 2019. It's a variable. It is available on GitHub. Check the link in the description below. For now, all I've got it set up for is essentially we've saved the data as CSV files in this original data folder. So what we'll be doing now is we'll be creating a new data parsing Python script, essentially. And we'll be doing that live. So new folder, data parsing.py. I happen to be using Python 3.7.4. So this is Python 3, which is, well, it is what it is, I suppose. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to create a JSON file that has basically standardized all of them. Now let's just do the football calculator one first. So first thing, we got to actually open up the file. Okay, we've got it working. Cool. All right. I just got back from brunch. It is now 12:32. Let's go over where we're at because I kind of need to refresh myself. So here we've got all of the data that's been normalized. We've got or at least in CSV format so we can read it. It has not been normalized. We've got it from Fantasy Football Calculator. We've got it from Fantasy Pros. We've got it from Sports Illustrated. We've got it from Yahoo Fantasy Rankings. Interestingly enough, a lot of these are from fantasypros.com, but the data is different. So it's kind of, maybe fantasypros.com has contracts with these things in order to provide the back-end service. We've got the format of how we want the JSON to look when we're done with it here, by player name, essentially, so we can look them up by name. Then we've got the bye week, team name, position, rankings, and then we'll figure it out. And we've got the first one done. In our data parsing.ty, we did the fantasyfootballcalculator.com parsing. And this function actually scrolls through, creates the original JSON file, and then updates it with the data from them. That's where we're at. So next step looks like we will be reading from, let's do Sports Illustrated and Yahoo Fantasy because they're pretty much the same. So we will just do that really quick. So I've just been looking at this, and I was so confused about what to do with the new players that are not in the Fantasy Football Calculator rankings, but are in Yahoo Fantasy rankings, and that's because Yahoo does not provide the bye week. So I was like, what am I missing? I'm missing the bye week. So we may not know the bye week for all of the players, which is okay, I guess, not the best. All right, so we can see that we've got the rankings of at least the top 10. We've got all 4 of the rankings in there. So for example, Saquon Barkley has got Fantasy Football Calculator is rank 1, Yahoo is rank 1, Sports Illustrated is rank 3, and Fantasy Pros is rank 1. All right, I'm back. It's Sunday, and I know I'm doing a one-day build, but I took a nap. So we're back to this. Where are we back to this? Let's check it out. So essentially we have done the data. We've got it built. We've got all the players by name, by ranking. We've got which week they're by, which team they're working on, their position, and then their averaged rank. So it is time for us to start the React app. So that's what we'll be doing next. All right. It's almost 9 o'clock at night. We got real busy this afternoon. Grocery shopping, did some chores, did some other stuff. So I guess it's time to actually sit down and do the React app. Doing the one-day build. I think this will be a lot faster than the Python because I actually use React every day for my job, whereas Python I haven't used it every day for probably a year and a half now, so I'm kind of rusty. But yeah, we're going to make this real simple. I've decided I'm not going to use any CSS styling beyond just the basics. It's just going to be very simple text, pure functionality. I might come back and do CSS styling later, but for now, we're doing a one day. All right, let's get started. Just look through this really quick. You can see that I've got the here in the Git thing here. Basically, I ran create React app, and then made some minor modifications, but not too many. We've got it working. Well, let me see if I can get it on the screen. We've got the initial React commit going. Let's get started. Oh, I guess I can't actually import it because of the way that the file is structured. So we will, You know what? I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to copy the data into the correct folder. Oh, because I'm not in Python. I'm not developing in Python anymore, so I have to actually use the JavaScript way to get the keys of the array. I keep getting burned by the autocorrect in VS Code. It will just change stuff that is incorrect. So, for example, it automatically added those brackets at the end of component here, and that was preventing me from compiling correctly, which is super annoying. Oh well. Alright, although it looks terrible, what we've got here is all of them by their rank. So we've got Saquon Barkley's number 1.5, Alvin is 2.253, 3.56, 6.75, etc. All the way down, they're ranked. So first things first, let's add a little bit of padding so we can actually see it here, and go from there. So I guess we will be doing a little bit of styling in CSS. Cool. We've got it all set up here. It's already displaying. This is super easy. I built, what time did I start? About half an hour ago, and I've already got it ready. So we've got them all displayed. What else do we need? Let's add a way to click a button so that if you hit like X or something, then it will remove it from this list. All right, 6 minutes later, we've got that functionality. So what we're doing here is, let me refresh this page. As you can see, we've added this little X, and so when we click on, say, Nick Chubb here at number 6, we click this X, he disappears. So what's happening is we just get rid of him. So we've only got the people that we can actually find on here now. Yeah, pretty good for a 6-minute build. Next, what we're going to do is I want to be able to toggle. I'm not sure what I want to be able to toggle. Let's filter based on position. All right, it's just about 10 o'clock, which means I've been doing this for about an hour. I actually stopped video recording because I was looking up the difference between PK and K, place kicker versus kicker for fantasy football. My league doesn't really make a difference, but this data set does have a difference. Anyways, let's walk through what we've got, because I'm just about done for the day. Although I might come back to this tomorrow. This is a one-day build. It's got everything that I need. The only thing that I might add is like a filter search, so I can type in people's names in order to show them. That's a little bit more functionality that I'm really willing to do today. So let's just walk through what we got. So here we got essentially in app.jsx. Very simple here. This is the main app. We're keeping track of all the players, and then we're keeping track of which positions to actually show on the screen. When we first mount the component, we just basically add one additional set of data for each player that's picked. And what picked means is like has someone picked them. So if they have been picked, we don't display them. Then we sort them by their rank, and then we display it. So yeah, let's step through it. On this function here, on check change, when someone clicks a filter box, it toggles between either showing or not showing that person's position. So here we got the thing. Refresh, get it started. We've got number with the highest ranked, Saquon Barkley. He's a running back for New York Giants. Next is Alvin Kamara with 2.25. He's also a running back. Then we've got Christian McCaffrey, number 3. Again, these are averages, so it's kind of ranked. Now watch. Alvin Kamara here. Let's say someone picks him right off the bat. Bam. It's gone. Say someone picks Saquon, Christian, Ezekiel, all these people. Well, we can actually filter out everyone else. So if we're looking specifically for, say, just a running back, you see how we just unclicked everything? We can just only show the available running backs that have not been picked yet. Same with wide receivers. Same with quarterbacks. Same with tight ends. Or all of them, really. Just go over it. It looks like the highest ranked defense is Chicago, then LA Rams, then Jacksonville, and yet they still should not be picked until like 135 picks. Like that's when defenses go, which I think is fine. This should be pretty useful, I believe. So that's the end of the one day. Thanks for watching. Feel free to hit like, hit subscribe, and I will post the results probably as a different video. Thank you, everyone.